California, and today we are doing filming locations of the 2014 horror film, It Follows.
Right now we're taking the same path that Jay and Kelly took when they were first introduced to Greg. You'll notice certain things in the background like the pine tree that we just passed, and we'll be showing you some of the houses that were in the film as well. It's a nice day, just like the day when they were walking, so let's go check out some stuff. So when the girls come around the corner, this is Greg's house, and he's right out here in the driveway, and he's out there washing his car. And if you happen to notice, when he's washing his car, the side he's washing is all wet, but the other side completely dry.
You also notice to the left of the door, later on in the film, there's a window right there, and they actually used fake glass to smash in that window. So the homeowners didn't really have to replace everything. So this is the opening shot of the film. You can see Paul knocking on the door. And if you look just across the street where there's a red car, that's Greg's house, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, from the opening shot, it pans left to the backyard where there used to be a swimming pool. There is no swimming pool there any longer. Actually, someone bought that, another fan. But this is the opening shot of It Follows. And if you look, you can see the greenhouse where Kelly sticks her head out and says something to Jay. I don't want to be too invasive on these people's property, so we're going to cut it here. We're going to do a couple other shots. So this is going to have to be another stealth mission. This is the house in the opening scene where Annie runs out of the house and then runs into the middle of the road. The neighbor down here asks if she needed any help. She says no, and then runs around on this side and then back into her house, into the driveway where she backs out and takes off. This house has had a complete remodel in the front, so it's totally unrecognizable. This is definitely the place. We're here at the Redford Theater. This is where Jay and Hugh went on their first date. First and only date. This is where Hugh sees it follow him inside when the show they're about to watch starts. So they come out. Jay asks Hugh, "Did you see somebody that you knew in there?" They walk across this way and to the parking lot where they parked. They're getting ready to start a movie. I think they're playing Friday tonight for $5. So if you're in the area and you like Friday, or Dazed and Confused, tonight's your night. A fun fact about the Redford Theater, this is where Evil Dead premiered back in 1981. Pretty cool. So after the movies, they go to Nick's Country Oven, which has been completely remodeled inside, but they sit roughly at this booth where you can see the It following them through that window. Another great shot of the film is when Hugh/Jeff pulls up right here. Lets Jay out. She falls in the street right about where that line is, that crack in the pavement, and falls down in the grass over here. And the kids that were playing Old Maid stand up and run over to her.
Now
this is the classroom where Jay first sees the it in the form of the old maid crossing the road towards the classroom. Thanks to on-set cinemas, they set up an event where we could watch the film in the classroom. Super cool. Now, this hallway was actually used in two separate ways. And the classroom that Jay was running away from is right next to these doors that she walks out of. So here at the corner of Tyler and 12th Mile Road is Clark's Ice Cream. This is where Kelly works, and Jay ends up going after she sees it following her for the first time. Fun fact about the film, Jay is short for Jamie, which Kelly calls Jay in the back room. That's after Jamie Lee Curtis, and in real life Jamie Lee Curtis has a sister named Kelly, which is Jay's sister in the movie. Whenever you're at Clark's, you gotta get a vanilla chocolate swirl with sprinkles. So when Jay is riding to the park, you can actually see her ride this way through these two manhole covers. She's coming this way, but that's away from the park, whereas the park is actually over here. So after Jay sees the tall man at her house, she jumps on the bicycle and rides through the neighborhood to this park, where she comes from way over there, and then rides her bike through here to this swing set. And she sits right on that swing. And then her friends come up. And then Greg comes up. This was a hard location to find, but after about a year and a half, I figured out where it was. All right, we're here at Clawson Middle School, which they call Lawson Middle School in the film. This is where the famous 640 shot takes place, which I'm not gonna be able to do. I'm not inside the building, and we can't go inside the building. So I'm just gonna do a kind of a round shot here. Of course, there's construction everywhere we go. So if you look over this way, if you notice in the film, right around here somewhere, it is following Jay. And I think that's the point of the 640 shot, because you see it get closer and closer as this shot rotates. So now I'm gonna go, we're gonna try to show you inside the building through the window. And you can see there's the mural on the wall. And then that office right there, which just got blurry, is where they go to find out Hugh's real name is Jeff. And there is the hallway seen in the shot as well. All right, on to the next location. Okay, so this is a little awkward. This is Hugh / Jeff's house, the front side anyway. Someone's in the driveway, so we're not gonna get out of the car. You can see the front door where Jay walks up and sees Hugh's mom for the second time. The first time she saw her was in the parking deck when she was naked. So if you notice, when Jay is standing there and his mom answers the door, she looks a little surprised because it's not the first time she's seen her.
Is Jeff here?
All right, let's go to the back side of the house. So the audio on this was god-awful because of the wind, so I'm doing this voiceover. But basically what I'm trying to explain is directly behind us is where Hugh / Jeff and Jay and Kelly and Paul and Yara and Greg are all sitting on the grass. And Jeff is trying to explain what the it is. And I'm pointing over there to where the girl with the soccer ball is walking towards them slowly, and it kind of gives you that anxious feeling, and you're not really sure if that's her or not. And then Hugh, Jeff says, do you see that girl? And everybody's like, yeah, we see that girl. And it's kind of, I don't know, comic relief, I guess.
Photographs in my leg. Let's go.
So this is towards the climax of the film where they're walking towards the pool, and it's actually over to the left. So they're kind of walking away from it. And if you're looking at this shot, it's off to our right. It's still their left. They're basically walking around to the front of the building to get the cooler shot, I think. There's obviously no pool in this building. It's a waterworks park, and the pool was filmed at the high school, which I think is no longer there. So I'm not 100% on this one. I think this is the location of the very final scene where you see Jay and Paul walking down the road holding hands. You see something following off into the distance. I see the school sign over to the right there. It's lined up. This pole was a light pole in the movie. And that house in the background has changed quite a bit. So I'm not 100% on this location, but I'm gonna get a different view from, I'll show you the reverse angle. So this is a scene from the end of the film where Jay and Paul are holding hands. This is from behind. You can see them walk down this sidewalk, and they walk right underneath this tree, or right by this tree. And this is actually the view of whatever is following them as the film ends.